For anyone who hasn't joined us yet, they'll be able to see this orientation on the same channel that you guys have been following for other program updates. Hi, good afternoon and welcome everyone. This is the TTR1 orientation, the program that starts from May 28th till May 27th at Rishikesh. The flow of this entire orientation will be, this is the entire program itinerary as you can see on my screen. We'll be going through it bit by bit. We'll explain you where you're going, what's the travel, what's the accommodation, what are the activities, and then going forward, we'll also discuss on the kit list, that what are the things that you need to pack. Once that is done, we'll have a small Q&A session or big, completely depending on you guys. So you can post your questions and ask your questions then. You can always post them in the chat as well while I'm, explaining you and taking you through it. So to begin with, the program location itself. Now we're going to Rishikesh, which is the rafting capital of India. Now the camp takes place within, a teak forest, and it's called Camp Aquaterra. This is the term, Camp Aquaterra, which is located in the upper Ganga Valley. Now, clearly we have Ganga, within our proximity to conduct rafting and kayaking there. We also have a beautiful 16-element ropes course, which is suitable for your age category, 14 to 16. So one of the most challenging ropes courses that we have within our ecosystem is one that we have in Rishikesh that is there. Now, in terms of activities, what you guys largely will be doing, of course, we'll go day by day as well, but largely we'll be doing three major activities at the camp. These are also called the WOW activities. Whitewater rafting is one, kayaking is one, and high rope sports is the other. Now, when we talk about whitewater rafting and kayaking, there are levels to it. It will begin with a very fundamental understanding of what your equipment is. It will begin with very fundamental understanding of the do's and the don'ts while you're in the water. Not knowing swimming is not, something that you should be worried about. It's completely fine if you don't know swimming. You will always be in safety gear. Now, having said that, there are safety instructions also that you have to listen to and abide to. आपने राफ्ट कैसे पकड़नी है, कहाँ से पकड़नी है, कब डक करना है, कब स्टेयर करना है, kayak में बैठते वक्त, what is the right way to steer, what is the right way to kayak, all of that, everything will be part of your safety briefings. आपका gear, you have to make sure that it is tight. And we'll be, of course, making you wear that, but you should also know that this means loose, this means tight. So all of that will come under the safety briefings to begin with. We'll do, moderations and distances of rafting and kayaking. To begin with, it will be about a 15, 16 kilometer session. And the highest it can go for rafting is about 24 kilometers. Similarly, with kayaking, it will be about a 13 to 15 kilometer session to begin with. And then when we go for a night out at the Beas Ghat, it will be about 25 kilometers of kayaking. So we'll move gradually towards how the program flow goes, like right here. Now, day one, I believe we have 18 kids in this camp, and out of them, 16 are traveling via Dehradun and 2 are traveling via Delhi. So the kids traveling from Delhi will be in the camp by 1 or 2 p.m., which is lunchtime. The kids traveling from Dehradun will be in the camp about 4 or 5 p.m., which is the late evening, post-lunch, evening snacks time. The logistics of it, I will come to that later on, but just informing kids that day one, once you at your own respective areas, from there you sort of come to the camp. The day one begins with a basic ice breaking orientation, expectation settings. So you'll get to know the group that you're going to be a part of for the next 7 days. You'll get to know what are the do's and the don'ts within the camp, what are the safety protocols. We will be happy to ask you what are your expectations from the camp, and that will be a testament of it on the last day once we again ask you that aapki expectations puri hui ki nahi hui. So it's just to get to know everyone. We'll facilitate some ice breaking games, some fun games within the camp, minute to minute games, collaborative work, sort of that situation in the evening. So it's just to sort of get the gears going on the day one. Now day two, we begin rafting. This is ATA Shivpuri, which is basically the adventure training area. From there to Nehru Institute of Mountaineering is where we sort of go on our first rafting session. This is the 16-kilometer one. Post that, we come back to the camp, and post lunch, we will do are ropes courses. Now, ropes courses are also, there is challenge attached to it. You primarily first will know what are the different types of knots that are used for different situations and different use cases within, the ropes course activity, or in general while you're at within the nature. So different types of knots is a primary part of your understanding. Ropes course can be anything from a low ropes course, which is about 4 to 5 feet course, till about 15, 20 feet in terms of height. As you increase in height, of course, the challenge increases. But largely, a ropes course is an obstacle course which is made out of ropes, which will challenge your balancing techniques, your hand and eye coordination, and of course, you will get to know about ropes and knots. So within that premise, we will be doing our first ropes course activity on day 2 after lunch. Now, the next day, what we have learned in terms of basic understanding of rafting, कि हम steer कैसे करते हैं, हम collaboratively साथ आगे कैसे बढ़ते हैं, हम turns कैसे लेते हैं, all of that will be sort of again asked to brush up and skill. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Orientation. Yeah. So I was at the mastering and rafting techniques, correct, day 3. So on day 3, what we have done before on day 2 in terms of rafting, we'll again sort of gear that up and brush up our skills on the rafting techniques. There will be flip drills included, self-rescue included, and parents who are watching this need to know that this is absolutely safe, because the first hint of, flip drills and self-rescue comes that, is this risky? If it would have been risky, we would not be doing it. So with that understanding in mind, that what we are doing is part of an elaborated, well thought of course, you should understand that this is part of what they're going to learn, and this is absolutely safe. Within one raft, a raft is easily able to accommodate 6 kids. Apart from that, one aquaterra instructor from, who have the major gears and major steers of the raft. So these guys are always at the backup to make sure that the raft is going in the right direction. But it's the kids' job to sort of learn and understand from them कि हमने कैसे raft को steer करना है, कैसे turn करना है, when do we duck, when a rapid hits us, and so on and so forth, all of that. Now, day 4 is a firstly, we have a visit at a local nearby village. This village is called Malakunti. There we will go. So that is the first part of the day where we go and visit the local village, followed by an introduction to kayaking and paddling. Now, again, when we talk about introduction to kayaking and paddling, just like rafting, you will be sort of made you will be familiarized with your equipment to begin with. You will be given safety protocols. You will be taught basic techniques of, how to hold your balance while kayaking, how to move your paddles while kayaking. It is as simple as that. And then we gradually move forward in terms of our rapids and the challenge. So this is that to begin with. Now, day 5 is when we set out for Dev Prayag for a kayaking mini expedition. Now, this one is where you step out of the camp to Dev Prayag to start your kayaking expedition till Bias Ghat, where you sit down and you camp overnight. And it's a beautiful beachside, bonfire area where you basically will park your kayaks right next to the shore. Then you will, gather wood, light up the bonfire, pitch your tents, you'll cook your food overnight, and you'll sleep under the stars for the night with Ganga flowing right next to you. It's absolutely serene once you be there. So you guys should be really excited for that. Going forward, day 6, we continue again kayaking from the night out back till the place where we call, which we call is Kabdiala. ये 15 kilometer का again session होगा. From there, you will come back to the camp, and then it's a relaxed day from there going forward. Day 7 is basically that you've done your rafting, kayaking, and ropes courses. Now, this is the last day of that you can spend within your camp, within your, your friends that you've made over the time. And this particular day, we dedicate for 2 or 3 major things. One being Helter Skelter. Helter Skelter is basically our Inme's version of what the Olympics would have been if they were held on an enemy camp. So whatever you've learned in terms of your skills in the last 7 days, we use that and create groups, and we create games out of it, and we make an elaborated scoring point. So within your groups, you will be able to earn scores, and it's a day-long activity, so you'll be engaged throughout the day with the games. with followed by a talent night, which is a sort of a tradition in me. So kids join us. They some sing, some dance, some enact, some host. So we have a lot of different potential that we sort of discover at that day. Day 8 is again just debriefing, reflection sessions. Reflection sessions are largely a very important and vital part of our camps. Because what we intend to do here is not just to make sure that the kids have done rafting or kids have done kayaking. That is, of course, there. They and doing something, in terms of adventure, safety, A, of course, yes. Fun, B, of course, yes. Now, C is the learning that we sort of that is why in me is in me. So what we intended to do is that while doing the adventurous activities, kids are subconsciously put in a reflective zone. वो अपने दिमाग में एक रिफ्लेक्टिव सेशन के अंदर चले जाते हैं वेयर दे आर सॉर्ट ऑफ एनालाइजिंग कि आज मैंने क्या क्या चैलेंजेस फेस किए, किससे बात करके मुझे अच्छा लगा, मॉम डैड साथ नहीं थे, फोन साथ नहीं था, पर ऐसा क्या किया मैंने जो दैट मेड मी ओवरकम अ फियर परहैप्स, or that made me get out of the situation perhaps. These are small reflections that kids do subconsciously. Once we sort of facilitate that and formalize that and we talk about it, that is when we also make sure that we are extracting those learnings, we are asking the right questions, and kids have a understanding, they can connect the dots in the last 7 days कि अच्छा ऐसा ऐसे ऐसे हुआ, and that's how I was able to build so much confidence or feel so good about myself, or maybe I made 10 new friends, मैंने पहले कभी ऐसा नहीं किया. That is what happens in a reflective session. So that's for the last day. Then, of course, they will depart and respectively they will go for Delhi or Dehradun, Jolly Grant Airport, whichever, option you've taken. Now we talk about safety. अगर आप इनमी में पहले आ चुके हैं, so I'm pretty sure कि आप जानते हैं कि हमारे इंस्ट्रक्टर्स सिर्फ इंस्ट्रक्टर्स नहीं है, and if this is the first time and if heard any good thing about us, it's probably because of our instructors. Uh, Reason being that instructors, the intent that we send instructors on the camp and their role is not just confined to making sure कि एक्टिविटी अच्छे से करा दी मैंने, सेफ्टी गियर बराबर से पहना दिया, राफ्टिंग बहुत अच्छी हुई, 25 किलोमीटर राफ्टिंग करी हम, which is of course which will be there any place you go. What we specialize in is making sure that the kids do feel at home. They're away from parents, they're away from their phones. uh, Kids have internal conflicts, their battles within themselves, they're struggling, sometimes don't speak. To gauge all of that, to make sure that there is enough dialogue within the kids from an instructor's end so that all of them feel heard, especially heard enough कि वो अपनी problems हमसे share कर सकें. It can be any small or big problem that we're facing within the camp. If we make sure that an instructor is not just an instructor, it's a guardian. The person is a guardian there on the camp. सो खाना इनफ खाया कि नहीं, पानी इनफ पिया कि नहीं, वेदर चेंज होने पे जैकेट पहनी कि नहीं पहनी, ऑल ऑफ दो स्मॉल नुआंसेस दैट एज अ पेरेंट यू माइट थिंक कि मैं होता या मैं होती तो वहां पे ऐसा करता, इज व्हाट इंस्ट्रक्टर्स आर ट्रेन्ड to do and have been doing it with due diligence for many, many years. So that is there. The ratio is, of course, out there, 1:6. Everyone that you must have registered must have known कि हर 6 बच्चों के लिए मेरे पास एक इंस्ट्रक्टर होगा कैंप पे. The female participant to female instructor ratio is 10:1. For every 10 female participants, we'll at least one female instructor. Having said that, it's not a compulsion. We sometimes don't have a female participant, and yet we always have a female instructor. Boys do feel comfortable opening up to a female figure purely because, subconsciously, मैं भी जानता हूँ, when I was a kid, telling something to my mother was easier than telling something to my father. So that by that logic, yes, it works same. So going forward about transportation, either ways, Dehradun or Delhi, you will be having recliner seat buses. These are luxury recliner seat buses, the Indo-Canadians and the Volvos of the world. So probably the best that you will find in the country is what we'll have available for the transport. The transport will also include one of our travel leaders, or at least one of our travel leaders to begin with, to accompany the entire and facilitate the entire travel part. So within the journey, देहरादून से तो कैंप की तो बहुत लगभग छोटी 2-2.5 घंटे की जर्नी है, 2 घंटे की भी नहीं है. दिल्ली से कैंप की लगभग 7-8 hours की जर्नी है. अगर उस दौरान kids feel that they want to pass on a motion or they want a bio break or any meals or snacks within them, journey. All of that is a travel leader's responsibility, and they'll be doing it with due diligence. Of course, our equipment is certified equipment. It meets all quality standards that we have to run an adventure organization in this country. Aquaterra के साथ जो हम camps करते हैं, their entire gear and their entire specifically water sports gear. Aquaterra is Asia's largest water sport company in terms of if we talk about being seasoned within the space, being absolutely thorough within your process. So Aquaterra is that, and we've been working with Aquaterra for more than decades now. So it's a very healthy relationship that we share. Our founders, within each other, Aquaterra and Inme, have been friends for a long, long time. Now, medical facilities, two things right off the bat. Of course, there's an on-camp MBBS doctor. I hope that you have while filling in your application form, mentioned everything that I or anyone in the organization or at the camp should know about a kid, that this is the prerequisite information that we should have in terms of this is any existing medication that the kids are taking for something specific, or this has to be administered at this particular hour of the day. If you've written that, well and good, because that entire thing will go to the camp before even the kids do. The doctors will be briefed about it. And 1 second. Yeah. So the doctors will be briefed about this entire thing, wherein ये बच्चे आ रहे हैं, इनकी ये मेडिकेशन है, डे 1 पे हमने उनको सारी मेडिकेशन हैंड ओवर करनी है, वो उस लॉग बुक को साथ में रख के they will make sure that the kids are given the right medication at the right time. We don't want kids self administering any medication at the camp, क्योंकि not that we don't trust kids, but with their own medication, but sometimes they give out wrong advices. कोई सर दर्द के डाइजीन खाएगा तो अजीब तो लगेगा. So that has happened at the camp. So we don't want that to happen. Apart from that, there's an emergency vehicle 24/7 outside the camp. There is also the nearest hospital is 28 kilometers away at Rishikesh. We've mapped that out. Injuries as such historically don't really happen at the camp while they're doing activities per se. But हाँ, जब शाम को बच्चे cool time के time पे, they're playing minute to minute games. Sometimes they'd like to just space for themselves playing football or volleyball or so on and so forth. तब भागते दौड़ते उनको चोटें लगती हैं. उस केसेस में यूजुअली अगर एक माइनर स्क्रैच या वूंड है तो हम आपको फोन नहीं करेंगे, largely if it's a very minor scratch or wound. But off lately what we've done is that every time किसी भी बच्चे को कोई भी चोट थोड़ी छोटी बड़ी लगती है, you will be given a call from our end directly from the camp. That I'm saying in terms of minor scratches and wounds. Fever and maybe skipping an activity so is an obvious, but even before that, if there's anything small, you will be given a call. As simple as that. Now, accommodation and meals, I'll keep it short and simple and quick. Uh, these are 10 by 12 feet canvas tents. They're built on a 2.5 feet concrete platform. They're huge enough to accommodate 3 kids. This is how the entire camp is divided into, basically it's tents within steps, one side for boys and one side for girls. Behind those tents, there's a huge common set of Western washrooms. Again, one for boys, one for girls. Uh, Within that set of Western washrooms, they have proper Western washrooms, changing areas, bathing areas, all of that. Now, when we go forward with meals, it is the usual jo aap ghar pe, whatever the menu that you have at home, the seasonal dal, roti, sabzi, salad, rice, fruits and vegetables and all of that. The entire spread will be available at the camp, all organic vegetables, all freshly cooked. The kids who eat non-veg, we will prepare non-veg, I'd say about 3 to 4 times, 3 to 4 meals out of the 7 nights at the camp. If non-veg is prepared, it will be prepared separately in a separate vessel, kept separately, labeled separately, so that you know that this is non-veg, this is veg. It's usually a buffet system, always a buffet system. You will have to begin with at 7 a.m. a tea, coffee, hot chocolate time. At 8 a.m. you'll have a breakfast time where, of course, the upmas, the parathes, the theplas, the eggs, and the cornflakes of the world will be there. Then you will have your activities from 9 a.m. to about 1:30 p.m. You come back for around 2 p.m. for lunch is when, again, you have the lunch time. About 5 p.m., you have another tea, coffee, chocolate break, hot chocolate break. Around 7 p.m., you have a soup session. And then about 8, 8:30, you have your dinner. So we'll keep you uh, filled with nutritious meals is what we are intending to do. We will request you to please have some also. Don't shy away from eating. You will be exposed to the kind of physical challenge that you might have not faced before, and your body needs that replenishment. So make sure you hydrate enough and you eat enough. Travel plan, very simple. Participants departing from Delhi airport, you depart at 6 a.m. and the reporting time is 5 a.m. However, in this case, I think we have two participants that are coming from Delhi and they are staying a night before. If I'm wrong, you can please correct me later on. Participants departing from Dehradun will leave at around 2 to 30 p.m. sharp. Kids, if you'd like to have something while your flight lands and before you meet us within the airport, please do. It's completely fine. There might be, I'm not seeing a delay in reaching at the camp, but your body clock and when you feel hungry is something that I cannot put a constant on. तो मैं कहूँगा सेफ साइड जब आप एयरपोर्ट के अंदर होंगे तो थोड़ा कुछ खा लेना सो दैट यू डोंट फील एक्सट्रीमली एम्प्टी व्हाइल यू रीचिंग द कैंप कैंप पहुंच के ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी फूड बट उसके पहले थोड़ा सा कुछ खा लेना दैट इज वन Now, the journey length is approximately 300 kilometers from Delhi and 60 kilometers from Dehradun. Quite self-explanatory. Above told you about the mode of transport, the AC buses and the mini buses. Now, this is an important part of the call where this is not to do with the logistics of how it happens, but some setting some expectation of what an Inme camp is. Sorry. So now you need to understand that this is not a luxury resort. We have set standards when it comes to outdoor adventure camps in India. But then you need to understand that the purpose of these adventure camps remains an adventure camp. It's not a luxury resort stay. So the amenities you come across, if you compare it to a hotel or a different resort within the mountains only, which is made for the purpose of luxury, then your expectations will be mismatched. This is the best camping experience in India, not the best pahadon mein resort experience in India. You understand the difference? And we've kept it that way deliberately because ultimately it is the camp. So the aesthetic appeal of the washroom might not match what you're used to in your holidays, but it is functional. It will do the job, and that is about it. It's functionality based. So it's clean, it's neat, and it will do its job largely. So you need to understand that within the tents also. These are your tents. So we will give you neat and clean. For the next 7 days, it's your collective responsibility within your tent mates to keep it neat and clean then. That is one. Moving forward, important communication updates for parents. Now, parents, there are a few things that I'm going to say which are like, you should be putting them as bullet points. The message that you must have received for this orientation will also have a WhatsApp channel link. A WhatsApp channel link is different from a WhatsApp group. A channel link is basically like a newsletter that is provided by WhatsApp, which you can find within your screen. I will show that to you later on as well. So we click on that channel and you can see updates posted on the program. Going forward, all communication regarding the program, maybe the departure message, 2 days before the program, or the arrival message at the camp. And going forward, all the updates will be pasted in that link. At 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. sharp. 11 a.m. will have one group photo in the morning. 6 p.m. will have more group pictures of, covering the highlights of the day. The updates will be largely on what the group has done, what the weather is like, what they've eaten, what the energy levels are, so on and so forth. Rule of thumb in Inme is that if you don't get a call from our end, particularly mentioning your child, please assume that the child is having a ball of a time. Because only if we are going out of our way to give you a call that, ma'am, listen, so and so kid has wants to skip activity, they're feeling lethargic or have fever. is only that's the only time when we create an exception out of our entire process and we give you a call. If we don't, then that means kids are doing absolutely fine. Kids who are listening to me, please, if you are camera shy, try to get clicked at least once or twice for your parents. That's the only way they can see you. It is a big deal for them. It might seem, negligible to you guys, but it is a big deal for them to see you. That's the only way they can know that you're fine, you're happy. So would request you to, be a part of the group picture every time it's, an instructor asks you that we come together, we are taking a group picture. That is going for your parents for updates, right? That is one. No gadgets, of course, it is not, no, not a surprise, no gadgets within the campsite. What I would be okay, and a common question is, can we carry a camera? Yes, you can carry a camera, you can carry a small camera because a large camera is difficult to maneuver and handle and make sure that it's safe. Within the small camera also, it's your responsibility to make sure that your camera is safe and it's functioning well, and you keep it with you and make sure that, it's all good. A small camera is fine, but nothing apart from that as a gadget, I'd say, is allowed in the camp. I would even shy away from books or Kindles because, again, the concept is not just phones. The concept is कि अगर हमारा external environment थोड़ा सा disturbing है तो हमारी आदत बन चुकी है कि हम एक स्क्रीन के पीछे अपना एक internal environment बना के उसमें आराम से बैठ जाते हैं. We don't confront that easy. That is the cycle we are trying to break here. So it is important, it's vital for them to not carry anything of that sort. Fitness and prep. Well, in this age, kids are usually very active. I will give them that. So not something like, extensively कोई exercise करनी है. आप कोई sport खेलते हो, very good, खेलते रहो. Continue to play that for the next 1 month also. Apart from that, if you don't, maybe jogging or cycling or any of that sort every day, half an hour is more than enough. Zero tolerance for bullying or indiscipline, a major one. There are two aspects of it. हम जब and this is I'm talking to the kids. जब हम कैंप में जाते कहीं भी जाते हैं लाइफ में नया स्कूल ट्यूशन कॉलेज एनी प्लेस विच हैज अ कलेक्टिव ऑफ पीपल देयर चांसेस आर के 10 में से 8 लोग आपको अच्छे से बात करेंगे आपसे और 2 लोग ऐसे होंगे जिनसे आपकी नहीं बनती नॉट नेसेसरली कि उनकी कोई गलती है पर जस्ट नहीं बनती इट इज ओके टू हैव अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ ओपिनियन it is not okay to call someone out because their opinion is different from yours as even though if your opinion seems so obviously right on the surface of it still isn't okay. There is a way, there's a method to it. तो अगर कभी किसी को आप में से किसी को किसी की बात का बुरा लगा मैं आपसे हम आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग यू that please do make sure that you reach out to an instructor and you tell the other instructor that this is the problem that I'm facing because instructors are the right people to facilitate that entire situation in the most appropriate manner, right? We do not, of course, nobody likes bullies, nobody appreciates bullies, nobody even wants to become a bully, to be very honest, at this point. But this is beyond that. Obvious bullying will not happen. We will not let that happen. That is a given. But this is beyond that. This is more nuanced than that. This is just not being able to coexist. Fine. Doing something about it which is out of line? No. Go to an instructor and have that conversation with them. And not just with bullying, in general, anything within your camp, टेंट की जिप फ्लश बाथरूम का छोटी मोटी चीजें कभी कभी हो सकता है कि मेंटेनेंस के चक्कर करते कभी कभी टाइम आता है कि थोड़ा रिपेयर जरूरत पड़ती है which is absolutely normal. Go and talk to the instructors. They will of course fix it for you then and there. Use of substance or any possession of cigarettes or alcohols or on that sort, it's a clear given that if found, kids will be sent back home. It's non-negotiable. Junk food और tuck. आप अपनी जर्नी में जो अगर आप देहरादून से ले रहे हो तो वैसे ही बहुत छोटी है सो स्टिल योर चॉइस पर अगर जर्नी में कुछ हेल्दी स्नैक्स खाना चाहते हैं वी आर कम्प्लीटली फाइन विद इट. अगर कैंप पहुंच के वो हेल्दी स्नैक्स बच गए तो हमारे इंस्ट्रक्टर्स बहुत खुश होंगे क्योंकि दे विल गेट a large extra chunk of protein and carbs from that healthy snacks. It's because we will not be allowing you to carry any of the snacks from the gates of the camp and inside. There's a strong reason to it. Two major reasons. सेकंड वाला आप ज्यादा मानोगे, मैं जानता हूँ, पहला वाला शायद कम मानोगे। पहला वाला ये है कि अगर आप चिप्स खा के पेट भरोगे तो जो दाल और रोटी और सब्जी में जो न्यूट्रिशन है, जो आपको जरूरत है फॉर यू टू कंडक्ट द एक्टिविटीज, वो नहीं मिलेगा। सो बिग नो नो। टू, if you open a packet or even leave an open packet, let alone if you don't litter also, if you just leave an open packet, the mere aroma of it will invite all rodents in your tents. So imagine you 2-3 घंटे की राफ्टिंग और फिर 2-3 घंटे का रोप्स कोर्स करके शावर लेके थके हारे आ रहे हो टेंट के अंदर, ऐसे खोल के देखा, इंसेक्ट्स ही इंसेक्ट्स, अच्छा नहीं लगेगा आपको। सो प्लीज कोई जंक अपने टेंट के अंदर मत रखना। जो भी है वो दे देना, फर्स्ट डे पे डिपॉजिट कर देना, लास्ट डे पे वैसे का वैसा वापस मिल जाएगा आपको। Kids will not be technically spending anywhere apart from some cases which I've told you also कि अगर एयरपोर्ट में आते वक्त कुछ खाना खाना है तो उसके लिए चाहिए। लास्ट डे पे हम हैव अ souvenir shop जहाँ पे we display merchandise which kids would like to purchase. If they like to purchase, they can use money for that. But largely while they are traveling in transit, if they want to eat something or just for that, some safety money, some safety pocket money is fine. Within the camp, they're not spending anything. Now, this was the itinerary of the program. I'll quickly take you through the kit list, or basically what is the things that you need to pack. Just give me a second. I hope up till now, largely we are on the same page and everything is clear. Many responses, guys. A thumbs up, anything like that? Okay, sure. Okay, thanks, Leon. Thank you. All right, so we'll move forward with the kit list. Pretty self-explanatory. आपको जब मैसेज आया होगा ओरिएंटेशन का तब आपको मिली भी होगी ये। I'll just again take you through it, a quick glance at it at least. So within April, the weather at Rishikesh ranges from 42 degrees to 25 degrees. Yes, it is that. Sun is direct. आपके बगल में गंगा बह रही है. There will be cool breezes. You are within the teak forest, so that is also something that will elevate the temperatures for you. But still, to make sure that you are packing adequately by this kit list. So very simple. 7 to 8 quick dry t-shirts, preferably in dark colors. Yes. 4 quick dry shorts. You can see everything is quick dry here. There's a reason for it because you will be largely doing water activities multiple times a day. You will be doing ropes courses where you will sweat and you will not have time to, wash clothes and dry them. So just quick dry by default is a good choice. One sweatshirt, of course, yes, even though शाम को 25 डिग्री ही होगा आपके हिसाब से और हमारे हिसाब से, पर वहाँ की हवा ठंडी है, हम नहीं चाहते हैं कि सर्द गर्म हो। एक स्वेटशर्ट अच्छी है, एक ट्रैक पैंट ठीक है, इट्स अ गुड चॉइस, इट्स अ गुड थिंग टू हैव। 4 to 5 pair of socks, preferably 6 to 7 also, because वो गीले होंगे वहां पर, गंदे होंगे, so you will need at least one new sock for every day. One towel quick dry, of course. A cap or a sunshade, yes, sun is direct, you will need a cap. Undergarments sufficient. 2 pairs of night clothes. Ideally night clothes बच्चों के वही होते हैं जो वो नहाने के बाद उस दोपहर को पहन लेते हैं, बट अगर आप सलीके से 2 अलग कपड़े लाना चाहते हैं, पेयर ऑफ नाइट क्लोथ्स, वेल एंड गुड. A poncho or a raincoat, yes, that is also recommended. Now, this is something which is major. You need to understand this very carefully. Please do not get Crocs. Please do not get Crocs. Any types of slippers, avoid them. This is what you need, a hiking sandal. May not look the most fashionably the best thing to do, I know, but the use case of it is what we require at the camp. You see this strap? This ankle support is what will prevent you from tumbling your feet over a rock and getting your ankle twisted, which is a common thing that happens if you use a croc or any other slipper for that matter. Similarly, when we're talking about shoes, this is the keyword, parents, rubber soled shoes. So this is my jute ka sole, and if I press it like this and it sinks in, it's most likely foam. If it does not, then it's rubber. You need to check that. If you want to buy a new shoe, that is fine. Buy it right now so the kids can start wearing it and see if they don't have any shoe bites from it and they can get comfortable in it. If you have any existing shoe that meets the requirements, just make sure that the sole of it is still alive. The grip is steady. It's not rugged in a sense, जहाँ पे उसका purpose beat हो जाए. That is about it. Personal toiletries other than shower gel, toothbrush, and paste must be, they must include sunscreen. Yes, it says 35 plus, SPF 35 plus. I'd say get a 50 plus, get a lip balm and get a cold cream, and get Odomos also. मच्छर थोड़े बहुत होंगे शाम को, अगर ध्यान से सोचो तो अगर आप शाम होते होते फुल लेयर्स पहन लो, लोअर्स एंड फुल स्लीव टी शर्ट्स, मच्छरों को काटने की जगह नहीं मिलेगी। बची कुची सेफ्टी नेक हम लोग ओडोमॉस लगा के कर लेंगे। A torch or a headlamp? Yes. Plastic bag for use in wet clothes? Yes. A water bottle with this capacity? Yes. What you're gonna get in terms of, I'll come to the packing also. Now, medicine and glasses. So if you are under any treatment, provide the details medical name in the medical form that you've like I mentioned earlier, अगर आपने medical form में भरा है और अब तक नहीं भरा है तो आप इसके बाद जरूर reach out कर सकते हैं मुझे, and you can always let me know that this is something, or you've been speaking to from people from our team, Mahesh, Vinita, Michael, all of them. You can reach out to any of them, and you can make sure that they are well aware of the fact that ये कुछ particular medicines हैं that have to be administered at the camp. So that is there. A small note will be helpful. Apart from this, if you're wearing specs, yes, maybe an extra pair of spectacles is always a good proposition when you're coming to an adventure camp in case कुछ scratch लग गया, टूट गया. So obviously you should have an extra pair of specs. While you're packing, you need to make sure that you're packing in a rucksack. I'll tell you why. कैंप पे स्टोर करने की ऐसी कोई टेरेन है नहीं, पर वो ट्रॉली बैग्स और वो सब खराब हो जाएंगे। अगर आपने बैग कैरी ही करना है तो वेट को मैनेज करने का बेस्ट तरीका है ये आप रोज नहीं कैरी करेंगे। दिस इज अ 55-60 लीटर rucksack. You cannot carry this every day. This is basically where everything of yours will be stored. You pick it up from the airport till the cab or the bus. From there, it goes to the camp. You park it inside your tent, and that is about it. You take out selectively things that you will need every day, and you keep it in a small daycare bag, which can be the size of your school bag. Now, within this bag, there are something that you should have always: a cap, a sunglass, sunscreen, sanitizer, water bottle, and anything else that you might need in the entire day. These are some basics. Like I mentioned again, kids will not have a need to sort of spend anything on anything. But if they wish to get some money for, while they're in transit for some food or some merchandise that we displayed, you can always keep it to them. Of course, please don't get any personal belongings or expensive jewelry, expensive clothes for that matter. This is adventure camp. Whatever you wear will get rugged out. So get the most basic things that you can. Apart from this, yeah, like I mentioned about the camera, anything else? If you guys have any questions, I'll just quickly move on to the Q&A session as well. Just one last bit of information. That yes, kids who are joining us from different cities, meeting us at the airport, you will clearly get your phones with you. Don't just deposit us your phones like this. ऐसा एक हाथ में फोन एक हाथ में चार्जर लेके मत देना हमको, क्योंकि वो बाद में ढूंढने में थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है। We will need to understand कि आपका कौन सा है। तो एक अच्छे से पाउच में, उसके अंदर you put in your charger, you put in your phone. Please listen carefully. You put in an additional power bank. Why a power bank? Once we give you those phones back after 7 days, उनमें चार्जिंग नहीं होगी। एयरपोर्ट पे आप चार्जिंग का पोर्ट ढूंढते हुए कैसे, मतलब it does not make sense for you, right? Keep a power bank beforehand and label that pouch that my name is so and so and this is my pouch, so that we can efficiently keep it safe and give it back to you. As simple as that. And with that, me speaking will come to a pause, and you all can, of course, put up with your questions if you have any. And if you don't, that's also perfectly fine. You can drop off from the call if you don't have any questions. If you do, you can of course start raising your hands or start writing them in the chat.
Yeah, hi, Unnat. This is Dave here, Aryav's father. My son is joining the camp.
Hi, sir.
Hi. So I just wanted to know how many participants are there in this camp? I'm
18
sorry, I
kids, sir.
just joined late. So yeah, if I don't know if you have already given that information.
Yeah, sir. We spoke briefly on it. It's 18 kids in the camp.
18 kids are joining. And
Yeah.
from Mumbai, how many are there, if you would know?
From Mumbai, just give me 1 second, particularly from Mumbai. 11 kids from Mumbai, sir.
Oh, 11 kids from Mumbai. Okay,
Yeah,
great. And I have second question. Again, I'm so sorry because I joined late.
that's perfectly fine.
So I know you guys are doing rafting, grade three, right?
Yeah, correct.
Uh, if you could just cover a little bit of the safety aspect of that, if not done or if already done, I can connect with you later as well. I'm okay.
Sure. No, I'll give you a small brief on what safety aspects. So, let me just give you bit by bit what we mean by राफ्टिंग और kayaking for that matter, क्योंकि हम गंगा में कर रहे हैं।
Right.
गंगा का जो फ्लो है सर, वो विद हाइट कम होता रहता है। तो जब हम
Okay.
प्रोफेशनल राफ्टिंग की बात करते हैं जो कि एक्सपोर्टेबल होती है, वो ऑफ कोर्स उस तरफ होती है जहाँ पे ग्रेड 4 ग्रेड 5 रैपिड्स होते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ एलिवेशन। वो जैसे जैसे नीचे आती है उसका एलिवेशन कम होते होते उसका जो स्पीड है वो भी कम होता रहता है। हम ग्रेड
Okay.
हम ग्रेड 3 पे कर रहे हैं। Now the instructors and the equipment that we are using, it is from Aquaterra, Aquaterra. You can always
Right.
Google that as well.
Right.
Asia's largest water sport company in terms of skilled instructors for rafting and in terms of their own gear for rafting, the raft, the paddle, the safety jacket, the helmets, and so on and so forth. Everything. Now, kids will not be directly asked to start rafting or kayaking for that matter. हम लोग शोर के पास से सबसे पहले सेफ्टी ब्रीफिंग, सेफ्टी प्रोटोकॉल्स क्या होते हैं, आप राफ्ट में बैठते हैं तो आपने कौन सा हैंडल पकड़ना है, आपने स्टेयर कब करना है, when do you have to duck down, come up, when you turn, hit a turn or when you hit a rapid or you hit a wave, उस टाइम पे क्या क्या करना है। जो आपके पीछे एक एक्वाटेरा का इंस्ट्रक्टर बैठा है, so one raft will have 6 kids and one aquaterra instructor will have the larger, the bigger paddle
Right.
to make
Right.
sure that the raft is going in the right direction. We will not influence the direction so much so that the kids don't feel that they're doing rafting. It's ultimately what they have to learn as well. But
Right.
safe पीछे हमेशा कोई ना कोई होगा ही होगा. It is so safe to a point जहाँ पे flip drills and rescue drills are part of the program, are part of the experience. So हम सोचते हैं कि यार what if somebody ends up in the water from the raft.
Right. Right.
It is that safe that somebody will definitely end up in the water from the
Okay.
raft. It is part of the drill.
It's a part of the drill. Okay.
Yeah.
But will there be separate team as well? So let's say in a raft you have 6 kids and one instructor. But is there a separate, let's say,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
separately just in case some specific situation is there to make
Absolutely,
sure that things
absolutely.
are okay? Okay. All right.
So if we are rafting, there will always be maybe 2 men on kayaks who are
Okay. Okay.
parametering us with their raft,
Okay.
with
Perfect.
their
Perfect.
kayaks.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Great. Thanks.
So, hi, this is Garima here. I wanted to know, so the kids know that they're going to flip, or is it like a surprise element for them that all of a sudden they
No,
flip?
no, they will know that they're going to flip. Of course, they will know that they're going to flip. This is part
Okay,
of training. राफ्टिंग
okay.
राफ्टिंग की सेफ्टी समझना, राफ्टिंग करना और उसके बाद अपनी राफ्ट को फ्लिप करके उसको वापस फ्लिप करके उसमें कैसे ऊपर आना है खुद और बाकी सबको कैसे लेके आना है, ये पूरा एक कोर्स का पार्ट है।
Acha, wonderful, wonderful. So,
यस।
I mean, of course, you guys have been doing it for years. Just as parents, we have our own set of anxieties because you read so much of news and media, etc. So I know that your guys will be kayaking, and I'm sure you know where to do it, etc. The only main fear that I, as a parent, had was that suppose the flow is too strong and the child just goes along with the flow, etc.
I know,
Not
I
able
know.
to control. I mean, just it is that extreme situation which bothers me as a parent.
I know, I completely understand also when we are, हम, आप अपने बच्चे की बात कर रहे हो, हम अगर किसी की अपने मतलब किसी भी कोई क्लोज होता है and they're going
Correct,
for something which is not the most obvious thing to do. So
correct,
worst case scenario हम imagine करते हैं कि what if,
correct, correct,
but
absolutely.
well, I am right there with you. I will just say this that आप पेरेंट्स हैं, जाहिर सी बात सबसे ज्यादा वरी आपको है बच्चों की सेफ्टी की। अगर आपके बाद किसी को है मैम तो हमको है। तो
राइट,
अगर सेफ नहीं होगा तो हम छुएंगे भी नहीं उस चीज को, हम अटेम्प्ट भी नहीं करेंगे उस चीज को।
ठीक है,
Until and
ठीक है।
unless it's bulletproof safe for the kids, we will not be doing it.
So, just to understand that the flow, etc., you will obviously be looking at everything and then flipping them
Ab-
into water. Right,
Absolutely,
right, right.
absolutely,
ठीक है।
absolutely. Yeah, ma'am.
I mean, they need to learn how to do it, of course. I mean, that is really great that they will learn how to flip it back and get onto the boat, etc., etc.
This is the part of their drill, man. This is the part
Hmm.
of their learning what they take in this entire. So there's a learning curve to it attached. तो वो जो rafting होगी वो 2 sessions में होती है, kayaking 3 sessions में होती है, सबका एक learning curve होता है.
Okay,
And when the time is right and once they are ready to do it, only then we'll do it.
understood.
Yeah,
Understood. Sure. Thank you so much.
most welcome, man. If you all don't have any questions, that's perfectly fine. You can drop from the call. If you have, you can raise your hands and you can ask me.
I'm Vyom. I'll be there in the camp.
Hi,
Uh,
Bill.
Sir, I had a question about the sleeping bags. Will we carry them? We'll have to carry them.
You can avoid them as well. They're available at the camp if you need them.
Okay.
Yeah, we sun dry, sanitize, and make sure that all of them are neat and mint condition. You can avoid them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get the recording of this?
This will be available, ma'am. In the beginning of the call, I had started the recording. Once the call ends, I will upload this entire thing on the channel.
Okay, so maybe if we have missed out anything, we'll just go through the recording.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. And the kids are not supposed to carry any bedding or anything with them, like related question to what he said?
Not necessarily, not necessarily. They don't have to carry any bedding as such.
Okay, sure.
Hello. I wanted to know that how many kids are traveling from Calcutta?
From Calcutta itself. Just give me a
Yeah.
second. So there's one. From 2 kids, both traveling from Kolkata to Dehradun. Uh, and I think both haven't taken assistance from us. So they'll be sort of coming by themselves, but we'll be, of course, there to receive them. That is what I am currently privy to right now. Have you been, so could I ask with whom you've been in touch with from my team before this? Is it
We've
Miss
been in
Sunita?
touch with Dipti from your
Deepti,
team.
ma'am. Okay,
Yeah,
understood.
Dipti ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so as
what about their arrival thing? Like they'll go to Dehradun. Like I have booked the flights for Dehradun. And what
Mhm.
about them coming back?
So, ma'am, again, you can sort of hand over the information to Deepti in terms of their flight tickets, and our operations team will be there, of course, to facilitate
Oh,
this entire
okay.
thing.
Thank you.
Uh, Regardless of whatever, so we've given out a particular time. What I remember is 2:30 p.m. के पहले बच्चों को देहरादून में लैंड होना चाहिए, and 3:30 p.m. के बाद वापसी के दिन उनकी फ्लाइट बुक होनी चाहिए. So if that is the timing that we're abiding by, we will make sure the kids are dropped at the gates within due time.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Ji,
you.
welcome.
So what about from Lucknow? How many students are there?
लखनऊ से यार कुल मिला के 18 ही बच्चे हैं, लखनऊ से 2 बच्चे हैं हमारे पास. I think it's one is of course you, Vyom, and I'll tell you the other one also.
So Karthik, right?
हाँ, Karthik.
Okay.
So you and Karthik are joining from Lucknow. Rest about Mumbai, one kid from Coimbatore, one from Chhattisgarh. Rest everyone from Bangalore, Kolkata.
Can you please tell me the names of the kids traveling from Kolkata?
Ma'am, again, this is some information that you can take it from Deepti directly. And anyone, if this is information that you
Okay.
require, you can always reach out to your personal ALs and
Thank
get
you.
this information. Apart from this, any other questions that I can help out with, guys and parents?
So as you had mentioned in the forms, the quick dry t-shirts and quick dry shorts. So would that be the jerseys or the thin cotton clothes?
No. So jerseys, again, jerseys are subjective term. Subjective because jerseys अलग-अलग मटेरियल की बनी होती हैं. कुछ पॉलिएस्टर की बनी होती हैं, कुछ नायलॉन की बनी होती हैं, कुछ ब्लेंड्स की बनी होती हैं. Cotton is not quick dry. Athleisure wear usually जो होता है वो quick dry ही होता है. So if you have, and jerseys again, are you talking about like football jerseys that you wear?
Yes, the football jersey.
Maybe, yeah, that can count, but I would not completely rely on that only. You can bring one or two of them, but you will need a few more. Just go very basic Decathlon quick dry t-shirts. Not
Oh,
much. Don't put too much brain into it. Just go and ask quick dry t-shirts from Decathlon. They will give you the right ones for this one.
Sure. What's the split between boys and girls in the camp?
Just allow me a second. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I hope you all have followed the channel link.
Yeah, we are following.
Yeah, we are following the channel.
Perfect, perfect. Just allow me a second. I'm just opening up TTR1. Yeah, so the split is, wow, 14 boys and 4 girls.
Oh, okay.
14 boys, 4 girls, 2 from Delhi, rather Lucknow, 2 from Bangalore, 11 from Mumbai, and 3 from Kolkata.
Okay.
बता दी मैंने.
Okay. Acha, specifically on the t-shirts, you want them to be dry fit? Yeah, we can set cotton t-shirts as well.
अगर हमने 7 से 8 क्विक ड्राई लिखी हैं तो मेरे
हाँ.
हिसाब से आप कम से कम 5 तो क्विक ड्राई ही भेजिएगा उसमें से.
अच्छा, okay, okay, I see. And since आप लोग trekking and ये सब करने वाले हैं, तो you want them to be full sleeves?
Yes,
या half?
प्रेफरेबली फुल स्लीव ही अच्छी होंगी क्योंकि फिर वो शाम को भी वो पहन पाएंगे विदाउट क्योंकि अगर
Changing.
शाम को फुल स्लीव पहनेंगे तो एक फायदा ये है कि मच्छर कम काटेंगे. अगर
Correct.
जैकेट उतार देते हैं बच्चे थोड़ी थोड़ी देर में गर्मी के करके तो उसके
Right.
बाद वो एक्सपोज हो जाती है स्किन यहाँ पे. तो अगर फुल स्लीव पहनेंगे तो इट्स बेटर. एंड इफ यू आर नॉट परचेज्ड इट येट देन माइट एज वेल गेट अ फ्यू फुल स्लीव्स आल्सो.
True, true, true. Okay. And track pants, right?
या ट्रैक पैंट्स.
Track pants. Okay. Got it. And sorry, one more question. In the night, generally, what are the temperatures at Rishikesh?
Ma'am, it will be roughly about 20-25 degree के बीच में होगा when they're closer to the shore. Let's say while they're doing in a night
Yeah.
out, it will be about 20 degrees or maybe 18 degrees at the lowest. But rather, it will be on the positive end of 20 and before 25.
ठीक है, understood, understood. ठीक है, okay.
If all questions sorted, you can just give me a thumbs up and we can end the meeting and the orientation. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much for being such a patient audience. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you were paying attention. We'll see you soon at the camp. So looking forward to having you as well and start preparing. And yeah, always reach out to us for any questions that you have. We'll be happy to help. Thank you.
Thank
exact
you.
वैसा लग रहा है.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.